just let it go. You just don't know when to give up, do you?
What are you talking about? That emerald's mine. You got that? The Master Emerald contains special powers that neutralize the energy of the Chaos Emerald. That makes it very powerful. What the?
What? Thief!
Look who's calling who a thief.
I came here following the signal from the Emerald. If I'm not mistaken, this is the Master Emerald, is it not?
Dr. Eggman.
So that's Dr. Eggman.
Well, I guess I can use it for something. I'll just take it with me. Farewell, knucklehead.
Not if I can help it.
What was that all about? And look what you did to my emerald!
I did that to prevent the Master Emerald from being stolen, you idiot. If it's in pieces, I can restore it. And by the way, that's not your emerald.
Doesn't matter. I'll look into it once I get back to the base.
I despise anyone who takes jewels from me. All the world's gems are mine to keep.
Yeah, we'll see about that, Batgirl. I'm Knuckles the Echidna, but you can call me Knuckles. Once again, the Master Emerald was stolen from Angel Island. The thief turns out to be this know-it-all Batgirl of all things. When that Batgirl was within my reach, who do you think shows up? Yep, that's right, Eggman. He came just in time to spoil my plan, and even tried to take the Master Emerald. I managed to break the Master Emerald into pieces before Eggman managed to escape. Now I have to find the pieces. That Batgirl is after the pieces as well. I have to collect them all and put the emerald back together quickly.
Hey guys, Superman Miles here. Welcome back to more Sonic Adventure 2. So, now we are playing as someone completely different with a completely different playstyle. This is Knuckles. Now, Knuckles, movement is the same, but jumping, instead of doing a homing attack, he glides on the second button press. He can also climb walls. Now, your goal is to find the 3 pieces of the Master Emerald in each stage. If you want help finding them, or you get point bonuses based on how fast you find them. If you want help, you can use these hint monitor things. There are a crazy number of pieces, but I know where quite a few of them are. For example, I know exactly where this one is. Now, the pieces are all determined at the same time instead of one after another. I know, like I said, there's every chance that you can find all of them out of order. Where is it? Okay.
It's closer.
Oh, there you go. Go to 6 minutes. Oh, high piece number 3.
One more left. It's closer.
And there's piece number 2.
I found him.
I forgot to get the chow box. But we got our A rank,
Yeah, this is perfect.
which is good. Okay, so that could have gone better. Well, actually,
What
it went
stage are we
great.
going to play?
Also, Wild Cannon's over here. But, like I said, I forgot to get a chow box because I was trying to get the A rank. Let's see. I know it's close. reason I'm even going for the Emerald Pieces is mainly just practice. The main point is for me to pick up all of the Chow pieces. And some rings at the same time. Here's box number 2, or box number 1. Here's box number 2. We've got some variety this time. Oh my goodness, including 2 condors.
It's closer. One more left.
There's the beetle one, by the way. Picking up a third condor. These guys. And box 3 is right here. And the third animal for this stage is the dragon, another one of the golden animals. Scary Eyes and Wild Canyon Track. Wild Canyon Track is back down. In your basement. So, as you see, this time it took me substantially longer, and I did not get the A rank. Yeah, I didn't think so. But that's okay, because I still got the A rank for this one, so I won't have to go back later. And now we get to go to the Chow Garden with our second character, Knuckles. However, there's something new over here on the other side, the Chow Kindergarten. This place is where you can do a lot of stuff. I can't actually show you hardly any of it now, but the 2 things that I can show off now are the principal. Actually, no, there are 3 things I can show you now. The principal is essentially your help system. You can talk to him about just about anything pertinent. Okay, so Chow are small, cute, and mysterious creatures who live in the Chow Garden. Everyone loves Chow. This is true. Also, I just saw that statue in the background blink. That's hilarious. If you go to the Chow Garden, you can raise your own Chow. Next is the classroom. The way the classroom works is a group of lessons will cycle through every, I think, hour of time that you are not within the Chow Garden. If you leave a Chow here, you can carry your Chow out of the garden and into the kindergarten and leave a Chow here. If you do, after half an hour, again, of time spent outside the Chow Garden, it will learn the lesson. And the lessons are all various idle stuff, like right now is a song. There's also, like, learn how to draw, learn how to do various dances, learn how to play a few different instruments, various things like that. It's just some idle stuff. My original plan was to take the other Chow that I hatched here, to put it in limbo. But then I got 3 condors, which is very, very important. The third thing I can show you is the black market, which is the shop. You can spend the rings that you got in your various stages to buy many various things. Now, a lot of them are based on how many emblems you have, so right now with only 2 emblems, we have a very, very limited selection. Hero and Dark fruits are fruits that, upon the last bite of the fruit, the Chow that eats it will get a boost towards that alignment. I talked about alignments a little bit last time. Round and square fruits are 2 examples of fruits that, essentially they're the exact same as the fruits that grow in the garden, but each Chow will have a favorite fruit. We'll get into that a little bit more later. Seeds, a little bit later in the game, you can, your Chow will get the ability to plant and water seeds. So if you want to grow your own round fruits, your own square fruits, you can do that. You can also sell items, including the eggshells. Essentially anything you want to sell, you can get a few rings for it. But as he says, if you collect more emblems, we'll try to get you rare items. Try collecting a lot of emblems. I believe that the most rare item in the shop either requires 120 or 140 emblems. That's a lot, since there are only 180 total. But yeah, like I said, we will cover the fortune teller and the health center in a little bit, because both of those you need a Chow for. So let's head in here. I'm going to give everything except for the condor to this guy. And then I'll get into why I said that 3 condors is incredibly important. Here you can also see an example of an animal reducing stats. What did I just hear? Was that the animal or was that the Chow? Is that everything? Already picked up the... Yeah, that's everything. So, now we get into this guy. I told you a while back that, in the last episode, that the first Chow I got, I was going to give everything except for one animal that my hero characters collected. And that the third Chow that I collect, I'll be doing the same for the dark. This guy is special. This guy is going to be the guy that I raise to be a neutral Chow that I'm going to get to level 99 in every stat, except for stamina, because stamina doesn't matter nearly as much. Why am I going to do that? Because of the races in karate. How am I going to do that? Through a glitch that I'm going to show you guys right now. Okay, you stay.
Now there.
Okay, this is a little bit tricky of a glitch to pull off. So, you know what? I'm going to toss this over to post-commentary while I take care of this. Okay, so the way this glitch works is fairly simple. You give your Chow an animal, it takes it, its stats go up, and the animal becomes unusable. However, if you set the animal down right in front of the Chow, which is pretty precise, it will still count as giving the animal to the Chow, but since you put it down, the game assumes you can pick it up again, so the animal doesn't become unusable, which is what I'm doing right now, giving the same condor to my Chow over and over again. Why the condor? Well, speedrunners have figured out the ideal quote-unquote formula for raising a Chow up to level 99 in all stats as fast as possible. It involves using this animal duplication glitch on 3 different animals. The only one we've seen thus far is the condor. It's used because of its very good buffs, 60% of a fly level, 20% to swim, and 16% to power, at the cost of 24% run. But if you use condors first, since you don't have any levels in run, it's subtracting from 0, meaning you get to use the condors with absolutely no downside. The other 2 animals used are both from the black color, the ghost class, which I believe I accidentally referred to as silver in the last episode, which means that they don't have any specific attribute like the purple fly condor, so they don't lower any stats. So we can use them for the rest of the levels since they won't hurt any other stats at the same time as they're helping their main ones. But we'll get into those animals once we're done with the condors, which won't be this time since I completely botched the first condor, nearly finished with the second condor, and the third goes missing entirely as far as I can tell, which I'm not happy about. The reason we do this to a Chow is because on a normal pace, raising a Chow this much is a humongous effort taking a very, very long time. And the final races and karate virtually require you to have a Chow with level 99 in all stats, except for stamina, which matters less and less the higher level you are. So while I will be raising 2 Chow completely normally and using them as much as possible, I want to have this guy here as insurance to ensure that I won't have to spend hours and hours grinding my Chow any more than I already planned to. Don't worry, you won't see very much of this guy. Until and unless you have to, hopefully you won't. Either way, we're nearly done, so back to live commentary.
I gave one of the condors to this guy, didn't I? Oh well. I still did so much better than I expected to.
So yeah, like you can see, I nearly finished. I came so unbelievably close to finished with the condors on a single setting. That is by far the best I have ever done. So now that I'm done with that, let's go head over to the kindergarten with this guy. So I can show off the fortune teller and the health center. The fortune teller, well, you won't get your fortune told here, but it's fun to get a nice name for your Chow. So she will, it will give your Chow a name. They're usually terrible. I mean, why? If you say yes, she'll just make up a new name. If you say no, you can name your Chow yourself. See if I can remember how to do this any faster than the last time. Yes, I know some Japanese. We are naming this Chow Super Nero. Super Nero. I hope Super Nerd will become a good Chow. So, at the health center, the doctor will examine your Chow. Very, very rarely, as in I've never seen it before, your Chow will actually get sick and you have to take him here. Or, you can view his medical chart, at which you can see what the stats for your Chow are and a few other things. As you can see, it is currently attribute neutral. The attributes we'll get into later, although they have to do with swim, fly, run, power. Ability type child means that it's still essentially a newborn. You can see its stats the same way that you can elsewhere, although you can also see its ability. Think of these like IVs. So you can see that swim is a D, fly is C, run A, power B, and stamina E. Those abilities affect the amount that the skill points go up when a Chow levels up. Cutting a bit here because I was completely wrong about the way the stats work. First, I had momentarily forgotten that there are 6 grades and not 5. There's also an S grade that is better than A. The 6 grades influence how many points you get in that stat, but they overlap a bit. The least you can get is something like a plus 11 with an E grade, and the most is plus 30 with an S grade. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on how the grades work, but those are the basics. We'll cover more in the future as more becomes relevant. The Chow that I hatched, it's actually, a Chow's grades, initial grades, are actually determined, from what I know, sorry about that, the Chow's initial grades, at least from what I know, are determined by what character enters the garden, when the eggs are generated. So what I did was I had Sonic enter the garden, and it spawned 2 eggs, and I deliberately picked this one, Super Nerd, to be the one on the rocks. So that's how I knew that his, that's the way that speedrunners hatch Chow when they're doing 180 emblem runs. This is the Chow that they use for races in karate, which is why I picked him out to be the one that I would be raising for karate races. Now, next you can view the personality favorite, the personality, which can be a bunch of different things. Ew, Crybaby is one of the worst. Crybaby essentially just means that this is going to be a very, very spoiled Chow. It's going to like to cry a lot. You can see what fruit is your Chow's favorite. You can see its age. Age? Okay, this is something I haven't really covered yet. I mentioned when I was talking about the classroom that the classroom is based on time spent outside the Chow garden. Time only passes in the Chow garden when you are in the Chow garden. And I believe that 1 year for your Chow is 4 hours spent in the Chow garden. So it's obviously not been that long yet. Time's transformed. We'll get into that later. Condition, healthy. And then you can also see your Chow's record. All the medals it's won in races, and its record at karate. Also, one other thing I can go ahead and mention is, as you can see, did it sound a little bit like my mic cut out? Because it did. I apparently was sitting on the controller for my headset, and like a big old dummy, I muted my mic by accident. So we're back to post-commentary for the rest of the episode. What I had been mentioning here is that Super Nerdo is very obviously much wider than earlier. This is a visible example of a Chow's alignment changing. Because I've been doing things that make it happy as a hero character, namely giving it so many condors, it has become hero-lined. Now, because it's still a child, this isn't permanent and doesn't actually mean anything yet. And just a warning, if you want to raise only one Chow to do all of the races, you don't want it to be hero-lined or dark-lined. You want it to remain neutral. So I probably won't be doing very much more with Super Nerd until we move on to the Dark story. That's also why, while I was talking, I left it in the classroom. While I really don't care whether or not it learns various idle animations like the shake dance, I can leave it there so that time won't pass for it and it won't grow up any. I'll be back to pull it out whenever I have more stuff to give it, but for now, all we really need is good old... Wait, we haven't given our other Chow name yet, have we? Well, that's something that we can easily fix. And no, I'm not going to name it from the fortune teller's list of defaults. They're just bad. Even if the one that he suggests here, wow, is something that I've never actually seen before, and it made me laugh quite a bit. No, we're going to go for a much simpler name. Since this is the Chow that we'll be paying attention to with all of our hero characters, why don't we name it Angel? Next, let's take a look at Angel's grades. As you can see here, yeah. Angel's ability is much lower than Super Nerd's, so even if I gave them both the exact same treatment, raising them to level 99 in all of their stats, because of their differences in grades, they would be quite different, and Super Nerd would still be superior in some very, very important stats. That's why we're saving him as the ace up our sleeves. If we can't raise Angel and another Chow with our dark characters enough that they can take care of all the races, Super Nerd will be there to finish the job. Then again, since the Chow emblems are something that I'm saving until nearly the very end, perhaps it won't even be necessary. Who knows how much rage-inducing failures I'll go through, collecting more Chaos Drives and animals for Angel and another Chow. Ideally, we won't even need Super Nerd at all. Maybe. Oh, also, before I leave the Chow Garden, I'm going to sell both of the shells left behind when Angel and Super Nerd hatched. They do have a purpose they can fulfill a little later, but it's one that I really don't care to use, so I'll talk about it when it becomes relevant, but not really use it. In the meantime, each of them sells for 50 rings, and things at the black market will eventually be getting very expensive, so I'm happy to get every extra ring I can. And while we're here at the black market, there's one new item here that they're currently selling. The inventory does change up randomly. I'm not sure exactly what triggers the change since we never actually left the Chow Garden. It's probably just periodically since giving those condors to Super Nerd took around 10 minutes. The new item is the Chow Fruit, which is a very special fruit. Normal fruits, the ones found in the Chow Garden, plus the round, square, and triangle fruits, just raise stamina by 10% per bite, giving you a total of 40% of a level up in stamina. The Chow Fruit, however, is special. The 4 bites of a Chow Fruit will give you a total of 50% of a level up in all 5 stats. They're very nice if you want to raise everything evenly, but as you can see, they're pretty darn expensive. 200 rings per, and even after selling the eggshells, I could only barely afford 2. If you want to buy things from the black market, well, I advise you to play lots and lots of stages and collect tons of rings. You'll need them.
Select the story.
Anyway, that'll do it for this episode of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. We cleared Stage 2, Wild Canyon, got our second emblem, and then got to spend quite a long time going over more of the Chao Garden. In the next episode, well, I guess we'd better see what's up with Sonic, right? I mean, he kinda got caught again after meeting Shadow. We'd probably better check up on him and make sure he's not in trouble. Stay tuned for more. Miles out.